Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Fairy Fountain Podcast. This is the first episode in 2022. As usual, I'm joined by my co-host, Slime. How's it
Hello.
going?
Good. I am excited for the new year.
Me too, especially with all these exciting Nintendo releases we've got coming up.
Uh,
So, how we're going to...
Even that
Go
we
ahead.
already know about. Like, we know about a
Exactly.
lot more than we did last year, so.
So, how we're going to do it this time is we're going to talk about all the games we currently know about that are launching this year and beyond. And then we'll go month to month, talk about rumors, speculation, all that fun jazz.
Predictions.
But I think we should start with one of the games we have earliest confirmation for, Pokemon Legends Arceus, coming
Yep.
out January 28th.
Yeah, this is literally coming out in the next few weeks, and we'll talk about that more, but I think there's more than, well, there's always more than what we've seen, but I think there's going to be some stuff that comes after, so, and we'll talk about that, but I'm really excited for this release. I think this will be the first time it'll pique non-Pokemon fans' interest.
Yep.
And I'm just hoping that it's better than I'm hoping that we can put aside graphics and it ends up being a great game.
The more trailers I see, I'm genuinely getting excited just to see how this game hits with Pokemon fans, but this is one I'm genuinely excited to play, and anyone who has watched me for more than 30 seconds knows I am not a big Pokemon fan.
And I'm excited too. I'm just I There's a lot of questions in my head. Like, I don't really know how this game is going to be structured, and it kind of sounds like it's going to be more of like a quest-based game where it's like you can do whatever the fuck you want, and there's like
It
maybe
looks
like a
like
thin
Monster Hunter-esque.
yeah. And I don't know, but at the same time, with those little clan things, there might be some kind of story through thread there. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So I'm
Right.
really excited to see if they finally hit the nail on the coffin with Pokemon.
To this day, I am still shocked that this game wasn't delayed. I know Pokemon
Oh
Company
yeah.
doesn't delay, but given the fact that we had
Well,
this release date back in like late May, early June,
oh,
and it's stuck.
uh, mm, I wonder maybe, but honestly, now looking at it like the way it is today, like the most thing that they would have done, barring or with a delay, would have been just updating the graphics, which Pokemon doesn't care. So
Yeah.
honestly, it still seemed like it's going to be a good game.
I hope that it really does deliver, because not only would that be a strong Pokemon game that I think the Pokemon fans deserve, it's going to be a huge start to what is looking like a jam-packed year.
Mm-hmm.
But moving on from Pokemon, I think we can briefly touch on Triangle Strategy. It's the Square Enix RPG that's coming out early March.
Yeah, I really don't care about this.
I love the art style. I played a little bit of Octopath Traveler, and this seems to be more like a Fire Emblem-like game, so I'm excited to check it out, but I don't know if I will pick it up day one.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Fire Emblem, and I like the art style. Bring this over to Chrono Trigger or any other Final Fantasy game, please. But
Right.
I'm not interested in this.
That's fair. I am excited to see how it turns out, but I admit I'm kind of hoping something else hits in March, even though I'm not really expecting it.
Okay.
But all right. Kirby and the Forgotten Land has a spring 2022 release date, so
Yeah.
are you excited for Kirby?
Oh hell yeah. Apparently he was meant to have a gun, so I heard that this morning.
Yeah, the ESRB rating or something like that.
Honestly, right now I'm excited for it because I have actually never bought a new Kirby game ever when it was
Nice.
new. So I'm excited to check this out for sure. But again, this is a lot of questions are in my head still. Like if it's going to be linear or semi-open world-ish, where it's not semi-open worldish in the sense like Pokemon is, more like it's not reach a goal, if that makes sense. If it's going to be more
Right.
like get the collectible, go back, like split path type of thing. So I wonder how that's going to work.
I think it's going to be level to level. I hope not, but I don't want to get my expectations too high, especially since this is Kirby's like one of his first real outings into a 3D
Hmm.
type game. So I'm hoping it goes well, because Kirby Star Allies was such a disappointment in my eyes.
Yeah.
But that should be coming out hopefully between like March and June, so we shouldn't have too much longer to wait, and it should get a release date within the next month or so, whenever we get that
Yep.
Nintendo Direct. But okay. A game that should have come out in 2021 but was delayed, Fall Guys. Are you still excited for Fall Guys?
No, not anymore. Not after I got a PC.
Yeah.
But it's again, it's another one of those questions like, where is it? It got delayed, sort of like under the radar got delayed. It wasn't even like a huge thing. And then it's just hasn't been talked about for a long time.
Wasn't
So,
this game slated for summer
yeah,
when it first got announced?
summer.
Yeah.
So I'm just,
I
where is it?
I don't get
That's my question.
right. It was announced almost a year ago, and we still haven't seen any gameplay, any trailers beyond that February Direct reveal. And that was a big reveal.
Hmm.
So I don't know if like Sony's like handing them like an extra money, be like, hey, slow down or
Yeah, I don't
something.
know.
But
It's
you would
weird.
imagine that porting it to the Switch is not going to be
It's
that taxing.
it's pretty difficult because the game is laggy enough on PS4.
Makes
So
sense.
it's probably really like Fortnite does not run well on Switch, so
Mhm.
it's probably really hard to get it running, especially, and it looks decent, like it's a decent looking game, so it might take a while.
Yeah. Well, also going off of that, also knowing that you're not a big Fire Emblem guy, are you looking forward to Advance Wars?
No, I'm glad for
Yes.
those Advance Wars fans, but it's also like in my head I'm like thinking back and forth. Does this mean that we're not getting GBA because we have
Not
Link's
necessarily.
Awakening and we also have this game, so
We'll see. I don't think this is gonna mess with their NSO plans, as we saw with Mario 64 hitting the
yeah.
N64. But this, I was excited for it back when it was coming out in December. I'm still probably gonna pick it up when it comes out. I think it's got a April release date on the eShop, but technically that hasn't been confirmed.
Hmm.
But I think it'll be fun. I've never played the originals, and I am like a Fire Emblem guy, but I don't know if it's a great idea to have Triangle Strategy and Advanced Wars like
At the
potentially
same
back
month.
to back.
Yeah. Um
Yeah.
yeah. What else? I was I gonna say? Oh, that delay also was quite interesting too, because it seemed like it was okay. It seemed like it was pretty much ready to go when they announced it. So
It might way forward probably just wanted to put some extra polish on it, either that or get out of the way of Pokemon.
that's true.
But I argue launching anytime this year is dangerous because the potential lineup is just massive.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm optimistic to see it turns out well. I just don't think it's going to be a strong performer. What will be a strong performer, though, is I think one of the biggest games of the year, Splatoon 3.
Yeah. And we'll talk about my opinion on what the release date is, but yeah, I think this is probably one of the first reasons why we think this is going to be the sequel to 2017. So it's very exciting. Although, again, in my mind, I'm like, why? Like, why do we need a Splatoon 3? Like,
For the longest time, I was thinking they would save Splatoon 3 for like launch year of the successor, but Splatoon is like kind of the IP that they can, I hate saying it like this, they can milk. Like, I'm
yeah,
sure they can have one ready to go the first couple years of the successor, no fret, because it is. I hope the single player campaign's more in depth than the last two games were, because from what I'm seeing on the multiplayer, besides like the new specials, it really doesn't look that different.
it
And
sounds like they're going to be taking a lot of inspiration from the Octo expansion, which was
I hope
a
so.
better single player experience.
Don't get me wrong, the gameplay looks a lot smoother. The new crossbow weapon they've showed looks really cool, so I'm excited. But I've played roughly 350, 400 hours in this Splatoon 2, and about the same as Splatoon 1, and obviously I'm going to pick it up day one, but I don't see too much new. But I know there's still plenty of time to change that.
Yeah. Yeah, because another thing too, I feel like eventually this art style will get kind of old too, because it
Yeah,
seems like all the maps are in this desolate area, which means you can't really get super
not
creative
necessarily.
with that. So
They've already shown us a returning maps from Splatoon 1, so returning maps are going to be back.
Well, it's returning, but it's also remixed in the style.
Yeah, but
So,
I think we've only seen like 3 maps though, and
mm,
I think only one really looks desolate, but I could be wrong on that. I haven't looked too closely.
okay.
But I'm optimistic. What I'm not optimistic for is Metroid Prime 4. Or
Yeah.
honestly, Metroid in general. I hate saying it.
No, we're gonna see Metroid Prime 4 this year. I'm definitely
Absolutely.
we are gonna see it, but it's not coming out this year for sure.
It seems like there's a battle between insiders, like one side saying, "Oh, Prime Trilogy's still coming this year, don't worry." And the other side saying, "No, it's not going to be a trilogy, it's going to be a remaster of Prime 1."
Which
I think
either way, I think we will see one of those this year, which
I
will hype
agree.
people up into 2022 or 2023. My bad, but yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say because we know zero. This is one of the few games we know absolute zero on. So
Do you have a preference on which release? Like, I personally want to go with the trilogy.
I would go with the trilogy as well. I would prefer that. But you know, if they're remastering this one, you might as well remaster all of them. If it's a remaster, if it's a straight up from the ground up remake, then okay. But
When
I would rather a trilogy so I can catch up with the series because I never played them.
Whenever I hear remaster or remake next to Nintendo, I get scared because either it could be way too much or very little. And if they do choose to just remake Metroid Prime 1 and it's not like a huge increase, I think people are going to be pissed off that they didn't just port the trilogy.
Yeah, it really depends
Because
on how much effort they put in.
unless they bring like GameCube and Wii NSO, which they're not going
No.
to, it's not going to be easy to play 2 and 3. And I don't think it's exactly the smartest move to have Prime 1 and Prime 4 on the same system, but not the middle
Yeah,
ones.
yeah, that's weird. Although
It's a bit.
again, I did hear about one of the insiders say that it was going to be hard to transit because it was pretty easy to bring the first 2 games into motion controls, but it's going to be hard to retroactively bring the third game into button controls, which means, well, more than likely we were going to get both motion and button, but it was going to be a lot harder to bring Prime 3 into button controls, which I heard
If they can
might
make
have
it
been the
work with
problem.
If they can make it work with Skyward Sword, I think they can make something work. It may not be as functional as we'd want it to be, but I think they can make it work.
All right, fair enough.
The game we saw in the September Direct that was the ender was we finally seen Bayonetta 3. Are you excited to play it?
No, I'm not playing this. I'm not.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not really a huge fan of the series. So
That's fair. I played a good bit of Bayonetta 1. I liked what I played. I think I got a little bored of it. I still want to try 2, but it looks good. I'm with you. I'm not sure if this is going to be one of my biggest games of the year, but
yeah.
I hope it does well. I hope it's a really well made game because it was announced what 4.5 years ago or something like that.
Oh yeah. That's my biggest
Been a
thing.
while,
That's my biggest thing is that it's finally coming out, and we can finally
right?
put that name to rest. Because I didn't care about Bayonetta 3 this whole time, but we kept having to talk about it because it was like a thing to talk about the fact that it wasn't coming out. So
Yeah, I'm really am surprised it took as long as it did, but so far from the little we've seen in that gameplay trailer, it looks very well put together.
do you think it will be a full-on crossover with Astral Chain, or was that just a nice joke?
I think that was a little cheeky, like, oh, is this Astral Chain 2 or Bayonetta 3?
Or
Because even in the direct, it had me fooled.
not like a crossover in that sense, but more like little hints of like, hey, this might be in the same universe
I
type
do think
thing.
it's in the same universe, and I think that we will see that clip that we saw in the direct.
Okay.
Like they will show that these universes are together. They might like make little references to each other, but it's not going to be like a crossover.
There better be more references to DMC. Just kidding.
Dante's going to be the final boss.
Ooh. Corrupted Dante. Oh, you're gone. Did my Wi-Fi die again?
Not made by.
Oh, you were gone.
Yeah, you were gone too. All right. Where did you hear me last?
Uh, I talked last, so.
Okay, I was starting to talk about Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I am really excited for this one.
I didn't like the first game, so
Really, I
yeah.
loved it.
I have no hopes for this one.
I think it looks much improved quality-wise compared to the
Oh,
first
for sure,
one.
yeah.
I never finished the DLC, but even that was very well made. This team is very passionate, and I am very excited to see what they do with Rabbid Rosalina.
Yeah, I didn't like the gameplay style. It's a little weird, and it,
Right.
it makes me long for a traditional Mario RPG, which
We can dream.
yeah,
Maybe it's in your predictions.
maybe
All
I can keep
right.
hoping, but barring
Yeah.
Alpha Dreams uh bankruptcy, I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, Nintendo still has the IP in their pocket. That never say never.
Yeah.
All right. Before we move on to our final big game of the year that we know about, is there any other smaller ones you want to talk about that we haven't mentioned yet?
Omori, I'm hoping that the release date will come in a direct, not an indie world, but
Mhm.
who knows? Yeah, I'm just excited for that game to come to Switch. And I'm not. We should also talk about maybe N64. Do you think we're really gonna do one game a month,
Yes, I really
and then
do.
5 Sega games every couple of months? And
We'll see about Sega. I'm not sure how they're going to go about that one, but I do think they're going to stick to one N64 game a month. I think it's going to work well for them, as much as people hated it first. But
are we done with NES and SNES? I hope not, but
they've said we aren't, but it seems like we may get like a couple games, maybe twice a year, just at the rate we're going.
I mean, there aren't very many really, there aren't very many games left, but there are a few heavy hitters that we still haven't gotten yet, i.e.,
Great.
Earthbound, both games actually. So, and you can always hope for Mario RPG. Well,
I don't think it's going to happen.
at the same time, I don't think it's gonna happen either, but. It's more than likely going to be on NSO first than it is in any other collection because
Agreed.
uh, I don't think Square has any need to put it in a collection because it's not a part of any series. So,
Right.
and Square does have a couple of games on NSO, like some weird like spin-off games, I think.
That's the thing. I don't get why we haven't gotten it yet.
Hmm.
Like, it seems that one and Earthbound are the two that I really don't understand their exclusions.
Yeah. And the other thing is too, like Earthbound Beginnings, that's locked to Wii U. Like, and pretty soon the Wii U eShop is gonna close. So I think it already is. I don't think you can use your credit card on it.
I think maybe in Japan, I'm not sure about over here.
Like I heard you can't use your credit card, but you can use gift cards. So I don't know.
Okay. I'm not sure, to be honest.
So
Not Nintendo, but I hope we finally see Silk Song get shown off and hopefully released this year.
oh, we'll talk about Silk Song. I have it in my
Oh, yes,
predictions.
we will. Okay, well, the final game that we should talk about before going into our month-to-month predictions is none other than The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2.
Yep. We know nothing about it still.
We've seen gameplay, but they haven't told us anything.
I have a lot more to say in the
Oh,
coming.
yeah.
So
But this is probably my most hyped game ever, even surpassing the original. But the
see,
slow burn is just killing me.
I still haven't beaten Breath of the Wild. So I don't know where I stand, but I have seen a Let's Play of the game, and it is quite a great game. But people have this in high regard, but I wouldn't say it's in my top 10. Like it is a good game for sure, but there are way too many problems that I have with the game. Durability, which again I know it's for balancing issues, but the durability is so annoying.
Mhm.
Uh, there is also the fact that there are only 4 major dungeons in the game, and those
I
4
wouldn't even call them dungeons.
and they're good. They're probably the highlight of the game, but there's nothing. They're all the same. They're essentially one big dungeon, and also Hyrule Castle is a little meh. So I'm hoping, which the only thing that I've seen so far for Breath of the Wild 2 is it seems like it's just going to be more and a bigger world, which would suck because and yeah. Or if we still have the same ideas like with shrines and stuff, if shrines return or whatever, I'm hoping that there's less of them but more bigger and elaborate shrines. So
We'll go really in depth with this when we get to Zelda, but I do agree with you. Breath of the Wild is going back and forth between my first and second favorite game of all time, but I understand all of your concerns about it.
but to tie it all into what I was meant to say was just like there were so many problems with the first game that I'm hoping that they fix in the new game, and also give me some sort of incentive to play it because I didn't have any with the first one. So
Yeah, that's fair. But all right, I think that's everything covered. So we're going to go month by month and discuss our own predictions. We'll debate if we have like different release dates and stuff like that. So I think January should be obvious that Pokemon Legends is going to hit.
is it?
Oh, yeah, it's going to get delayed next week.
No, that's not what I meant.
Wait, what do you mean?
There's something big coming this month actually that we don't. Well, not releasing this month, but there's going to be some sort of an announcement.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So is that it? Is that all you have for January? It's just Pokemon?
I have a Pokemon Direct listed.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
think we're gonna I think we're gonna get like a Pokemon presentation that shows off like a little bit of last minute stuff for Legends. If it exists, Pokemon Detective Pikachu 2, Pokemon Sleep. But nothing major because I think Legends is gonna be the big Pokemon release this year.
That's where I'm gonna differ from you. So I also have Banjo-Kazooie as well. I forgot about that. So I put Banjo-Kazooie. But we are gonna get a Pokemon Direct this month, and if you know Pokemon, if we just had a release in November, we usually have a Pokemon Direct in January. If we didn't have, well, they go like every other year. Sometimes it's in January, sometimes it's in February. Usually it's in February at the beginning of a new generation. But we're gonna have a Pokemon Presents in January, and it's going to include Pokemon Sleep. We're actually gonna hear about it this time. We're going to hear about a new spin-off, which are not really a new spin-off, but it's going to be Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers Deluxe. And it's going to be a remake of the three... Is it three of them? Is it 3 or 4 DS games? I think there's 3 of them. There's hints that they're going to be continuing this remake line in the first game. So it might be a good time to release it this year because it's been about a year since that came out. So
About 2 years.
Oh yeah, so it'll be about 2 years. So
Okay.
we're also going to get the announcement of one or the other. I don't know. Let's Go Johto, which will release in November, or Legends DLC, which will be released throughout the year. I don't know which one's which. I prefer to have Let's Go Johto because I want to play through Johto. But Legends DLC, I do have some things, because Let's Go Johto is pretty self-explanatory. It's just another Let's Go game set in Johto. The only thing is I don't know if we'll return to Kanto, especially right after Let's Go Pikachu, so I don't know how that will work. But if it's Legends DLC, because it will be one or the other, it won't be both. It'll be one or the other.
Right.
With Legends DLC, it will be new areas to explore, because it seems like we're going to have, like, I heard it was like 5 areas in the game. So we might get 6, 7, up to 8 new areas, one per wave of DLC. It'll just be a new area with new Pokemon, probably new Hisuian forms, and new just basically more of the same game. So just more quests, more things like that. But yeah, I'm hoping for Let's Go Johto, but it more than likely it's going to be one or the other. Is a concrete prediction.
I didn't have this written in my notes, but I do think that Legends is going to get DLC throughout the year. I don't think it's going to be announced before the game came out. I think they kind of remember the backlash that Breath of the Wild got when they tried that. I think it'll be revealed in March or April. We'll get the first wave in July and the second wave in November. I think it'll be 2 waves instead of 3.
Okay, fair enough.
Basically, same content you had, just a little bit different.
Okay, fair.
Okay. Do you think anything's going to come out in February?
Uh, Majora's Mask.
Oh, you really had these with the N64 stuff too.
Yeah, so
Nice.
I don't have all the names. I just know that there is going to be one a month.
Okay.
But
Okay.
February
I didn't even. Okay.
February
Nice.
is going to be Majora's Mask month, I think.
Okay. I really don't know. I'll just make a random guess and say F-Zero.
All right. I also have
Um,
on here new NES and SNES. Still hoping
okay.
because it has been a while since we had the last drop.
Yeah,
And I'm of course predicting Earthbound games to be coming, hopefully.
that'd be cool.
But the concrete prediction here, I don't know what games, is that there will be NES update this month. So
Yeah, that seems fair. And then the obvious pick for an event that happens this month is
a
the first
Nintendo
Nintendo
Direct.
Direct of the year. What do you think will be announced? Just mainly from Nintendo.
Because I honestly wouldn't know what other games. Usually a Nintendo Direct has some sort of Square Enix presence. I don't know what that will be. Probably the Kingdom Hearts ports. Maybe giving a release date for these. But for some reason, every Nintendo Direct has some sort of Square Enix representation. So
I mean, that could just be Triangle Strategy.
that also could be as well. But do we really need to know very much more other than hey, it's coming
No,
out?
no.
But more than likely, they will say hey, it's coming out too. So.
Yeah,
But I'm not really sure if Kingdom Hearts wants to do a part of a direct or they'll just announce it on their own. I don't know because they do have a full 20th anniversary celebration going on. So
right.
next up is Mario Party Superstars DLC.
Nice. I hope so.
I don't know if it'll be paid or not. I'm not sure on this. If it is paid, it'll probably be like 1 or 2 boards, probably 2 waves of DLC throughout the year.
Be good.
Probably like basically like 1 or 2 boards and a collection of mini games, or and maybe like 1 or 2 characters, or and it'll be released in a pack, kind of like Mario Kart 8. Or if it's gonna be free DLC, more than likely once a month, and maybe like a couple of mini games, maybe a character, and then if 1 month will probably be just a new board if it's free.
That'd be cool.
Next up is the announcement of Wind Waker Twilight Princess combo pack to be released in or some where do I have it? Did I forget about it? Oh, July. I have it releasing in July, but more than likely just sometime earlier in the year, giving Breath of the Wild time in the holiday. We also are gonna. Well, here's 2 theories I have. We're going to get shown off Mario Kart 9 and all the features and stuff if it releases this year. If it doesn't, it'll be announced or like teased at the end of the September Direct to be released in 2023. Okay. However, I'm hoping, being hopeful here, I want it to be released this year, so I'm going to stick to that. But more realistically, it'll probably just be teased in September. As for Mario Kart 9, I want there to be a Double Dash mode.
That'd be cool.
It'll just be a side mode, but because it is Mario Kart's 30th anniversary, this will probably be the ultimate Mario Kart game, which means that we'll have a Double Dash mode. I'm hoping for a Diddy Kong Racing style story mode or mission mode, one of the two. And it'll have the traditional 4-cup nitro track, and 4-cup retro track with all full-on remade courses, but that is just part of the game. Once you complete all the tracks, you unlock more retro tracks, which will include pretty much. I'm not sure if it'll be remade from the ground up, but the retro tracks will be. But any extra track after that will just either be just the original one or like the Wii version or something. I'm not really sure how it'll work. But basically all previous tracks will return in some capacity, but it won't be a part of like the it's hard to explain this. So there's going to be eight traditional cups and then the rest of the tracks essentially.
Right.
Okay. And then maybe a custom cup editor, which will be great. Just pick your own courses.
That'd be so cool.
And as for characters, I'm hoping that they'll take a little bit of a inspiration from Mario Kart Tour, where you will have pretty much all the characters that were previously in Mario Kart returning again. And if they have any alternate costumes, it'll be more like Villager rather than Cat Peach and Pink Gold Peach, because that was just stupid.
Right.
We don't need that.
Yes.
They're all just alternate costumes. They don't have any varying differences. Each character does, like weight class and stuff, but there isn't anything different there. And we'll be seeing a lot more Nintendo crossover here. It's not going to be called Nintendo Kart. Okay. We'll probably still see Villager and Link return, and we'll maybe see like Kirby and maybe Pokemon or Captain Falcon.
Okay.
But it will still be Mario Kart, and it'll just have a few Nintendo references, just like Mario Kart 8.
Okay. Nice.
Moving on, we will have a Mario spin-off. I don't know what this is. I'm praying it's a Mario RPG, but I don't know. This will be releasing in May, because I have nothing in May. But it's going to be some sort of Mario spin-off. Not really sure what it will be. Next, we're going to have, at the very end of it, it'll be a Breath of the Wild 2. So, here's my theory. Breath of the Wild 2 will either be showed at the end of this Direct, or have a full showcase in E3. So if it's showed off here, it'll be delayed till March 2023. I mean, it could not be also, but if it's shown off here, it'll get delayed to 2023. If not, they'll have a full-on reveal and showcase at E3, releasing in November. Okay. If that makes any sense.
Yes.
Next, we'll have a Kirby, more gameplay, and a release date of March. And Fire Emblem Remake, which I don't know when is a good time to release a Fire Emblem Remake. Maybe just put that in May as well. But it'll be a remake of an old Fire Emblem game. Sorry if I took so long there.
No, you're totally fine. So I'll admit I wrote these predictions before those Mario Kart 9 rumors started circulating, so yeah. I'm going to shove that in somewhere towards the end of the year, because I don't think it's going to happen until around then. Mm-hmm. But for the first Direct of the year, I do think you're on the right path with Mario Party DLC. I think it'll be paid. I think it'll be like
me too.
$20 for like 4 new boards, maybe like 50 more mini games.
And this will also be a part of probably NSO, more than likely. Maybe.
I do think though that new characters will be free.
Okay.
I think it's going to be the new boards and the new mini games that will be paid for.
That's fair.
I've had Wind Waker Twilight Princess as a wild card on my prediction list. I'm just going to go with it and say it's going to get announced in this Direct. I'm going to say it gets released in April.
Okay.
Because really, outside of if Advance Wars comes out in April, so far we know nothing for the month.
Okay.
We will get a bit more Kirby. I think Kirby and Splatoon 3 will be like the highlights of this Direct.
Oh shit, I forgot about that. Yeah, put that in there too.
Good. Kirby will launch in May, and Splatoon 3 will launch in July, and Splatoon 3 will get a new... I don't want to say we're getting a Battle Royale mode, because obviously we're not going to get a Battle Royale mode, but we'll get something trendy, kind of like Salmon Run.
You mind if I quick add an addendum here?
Yeah, go for it.
We'll see Splatoon as well. New gameplay. This will be the highlight of the Direct. That and probably Kirby, like you said. That and Kirby or Mario Kart 9, one of the two. If it's so with Splatoon 2, yeah, I'm gonna say Battle Royale mode, but this will be they'll pretty much be going through like a lot of the major features in this Direct. This will be like their big thing.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think we're gonna get a Splatoon 3 Direct a few weeks to a month before release, like every other Splatoon game has.
Okay, maybe it's that.
Then. They're gonna do that stuff, go very in depth. They'll talk about their post-launch content plans. I think it's gonna be what we usually get.
Well, I don't really know too much about Splatoon, but yeah, I do want a Battle Royale mode. So I totally forgot about that, but yeah, it's gonna be here probably with the release date too.
But outside of those big things, bunch of smaller third-party stuff that I will never try to predict. I think this Direct's going to have 2 big reveals. I think it's going to open with Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Oh, shit, yeah.
I think that's going to be a holiday release. I think it's going to be what the rumors were saying back in July, August, whenever it was. It's going to be just kind of like sequel to, well, obviously a sequel to 2, but in that same world and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, we're gonna see that long rumored 2D Donkey Kong game.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
I think it's happening because we do know that the Mario team, the Odyssey team, is working on a 3D project and a 2D project right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think the 3D project is obviously the next 3D Mario. It'll come when it comes. The DK game, I think it's going to release in August.
Okay.
So, kind of splitting up the platformers, Kirby in May, DK in August gives it a 3 month gap, should be comfortable. But overall, a very strong direct, because if that does happen, that's 2 new games, a Zelda collection, Mario Party DLC. So, I think the first direct of the year could be very strong, even though this will be the first direct in a long time without Smash Bros.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna add an addendum there too. I think we will open with Xenoblade more than likely. I totally forgot about that rumor too, but I'll probably just edit mine and say that we'll open with Xenoblade. We'll get the announcement of a Splatoon 3 direct here, and probably the release date as well, instead of like a full in-depth thing.
That's fair. Okay.
And for
Right.
Mario Kart 9, that will be the game that they'll highlight here, and or if it's it'll be probably just teased in the September direct, if one or the other.
Right. Right. I agree.
So yeah.
March will very likely be a boring month. I think Triangle Strategy is going to be it. I don't think we're going to get any new, like, big bombshell announcements besides Pokemon Legends Arceus, if my prediction's right, getting announced to have DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think anything else is going to happen in March?
I have Kirby in March.
Okay.
I have Kirby in March, Mystery Dungeon in March, and more Sega games in March.
Okay. I would love, because there was a rumor by a not really credible leaker that said Kirby was going to come out at the very end of March. I don't think so, purely because if it was, they'd have to be announcing that release date basically now,
Mm-hmm.
because it's 2.5 months out. I would love to be wrong, but I think Kirby's going to be
I just don't think Kirby's big enough for that, but I think right now, do we have, was it just 2022 or spring 2022?
spring.
Okay. And then as for Splatoon, did they say spring?
It's 2022.
Okay. So I'm thinking Splatoon 3 is probably going to be in the summer.
I agree.
So Kirby in March, and then Splatoon in July probably. But yeah, that's why.
Oh, going back to the directs, I think we're gonna see Mario Rabbids as well. I think we're gonna see a little bit of a new trailer, nothing major. We'll probably get more details as we get closer, but I think that's gonna be the June release.
The June release. Okay. Yeah, I can probably slot that in there as well. I just didn't think about Sparks of Hope, so
Right. That's fair.
I can probably that makes sense. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But going into April, I have Advance Wars on my list, and that's about it. I don't think anything else besides the monthly NSO update's gonna happen. It's gonna be the quiet months leading up to E3.
I have Advance Wars. This is where the Legends DLC will start. I think for me, if they were to announce it this month, it's either going to be in April or May, one of the two, and Omori and an Indie World will probably happen this month.
I have to add this now that I've said it. I do think Advanced Wars will be earlier in the month, and I think Wind Waker Twilight Princess will be towards the end of April.
I don't have it in April, so
Yeah. All right. In May, I think we're going to get Kirby probably middle of the month.
this is where I think we'll have the Mario spin-off, whatever that is, right for the summer. And then we'll have another Pokemon Direct. This is where they'll talk about Detective Pikachu 2 releasing next year.
Okay.
If it's still a thing. I don't even know if it's still a thing. More than likely a random mobile game, and probably more on Pokemon Sleep as well. And Let's Go Johto. If it's not Legends Arceus, we'll just have more information as per usual.
I think in this Pokemon Direct, if whether it be in May or early June, I think we're gonna see Detective Pikachu 2 if it's not announced beforehand. I think we'll get like an in-depth discussion into the first wave of the Arceus DLC.
Hmm.
And I think at the end they're going to confirm they are working on Gen 9 and that we will see it in 2023.
No, I'm gonna disagree
Okay.
there. If there is
Okay.
a Gen 9 next year, which okay, let's just say that it's true. More than likely they'll announce that in February, as per usual with a new generation.
I think they'll
So
announce it in February. I just think they're gonna be like little coy, be like, we are hard at work on the next generation of Pokemon or something like
okay,
that.
like they did with Let's Go.
They're not gonna give us any details. We're not gonna know anything about it. They're just gonna be right at the end of the presentation. We're hard at work, blah blah blah. See you next year.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. All right, June. I think Mario Rabbids is gonna come out. Probably usually the Nintendo slot for releasing is like the week after E3.
Hmm.
I think that won't change, so probably the week of the 18th or the 20th, whatever that falls on.
It kind of sounds like E3 is done, but we will probably still see a direct around this time.
I think publishers are still going to do their usual May through July presentations, Nintendo included. We'll have a E3 direct.
Hmm.
What do you think we're going to see in it?
Let me say what's gonna be releasing this
Oh
month
yeah,
too.
sorry.
Pokemon Sleep. That's why in May they have the announcement and then release next month.
Mhm.
Fall Guys, I think, is back for in June.
Okay.
This is when we'll see another NES game, hopefully, as well as the first wave of Mario Party DLC, or
Okay. Nice.
the first wave, first wave, yeah.
Mhm.
And yeah, so for the E3 Direct, this is where I'll see where we see
Wait,
the
besides Pokemon Sleep, do you not think any big game is coming out in June, or did you say Rabbids as well?
I slot in Rabbits as well
Okay.
because
Okay.
again I forgot about that.
Real good.
As for the E3 Direct, this is where I think we'll see the DK platformer.
Okay.
That will be in the later months of the year.
Okay.
Again, I put new Mario slash DK platformer because my ideology. I'm preferring Odyssey 2, obviously, but I feel like right now, we might just not get any of this either. But I'm thinking that Mario Odyssey 2, because there was rumors of Mario Odyssey 2 for quite a while now,
Yeah.
because there was supposed to be DLC, so I wonder if that was reworked into a sequel. So my ideology with this is that the DK platformer is going to be released when the park comes out, or
Okay.
alongside the park as sort of like a tie-in release, and the new Mario is supposed to come out this year, because it has been a long time since the new 3D Mario game, just in general.
Right.
And I think it's going to be quite easy to do, because it's not going to be a new 3D Mario game. It's just going to be Mario Odyssey 2, same thing that they did with Galaxy 2, just like more ideas, same concept, and just essentially what the DLC was supposed to be, just with more.
Gotcha. Okay.
As for the DK platformer, hoping K Rool comes back.
That'd be great.
My only problem is that I don't trust the Mario Odyssey team with a 2D DK. Like just give it to Retro. Retro does a fine enough job. But again, they're also probably working on Prime 4 and whatever the hell they were working on before that. So,
Right.
and then at the same time, it could be 3D Donkey Kong, one of the two. But again, it's either one of those three options. I don't know what it is, but it'll be announced at this direct.
Okay.
Metroid Prime trilogy or remake will be announced here as well, to be released in September.
Okay.
Breath of the Wild 2. This is where the full showcase would be, if it's releasing in 2022, which will be November, the holiday title. We'll get a new look at Wind Waker Twilight Princess right before it releases next month. Just a quick little reminder, it's coming out next month. Same thing they did with Skyward Sword. Bayonetta 3 will have a new gameplay and a release for October. And Metroid Prime 4 will be like the last thing that they show with a 2023 thing that appears, just like with everything else that they tease at the end of E3. And then it'll show off more Mario Party DLC because in my timeline it releases that month. So
Okay. Makes sense. All right. I think E3 is going to have the next Fire Emblem title. I don't know what exactly it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be an Echo style remaster. I think it's going to be the next new Fire Emblem.
okay.
And I think it's going to come out sometime, probably first half 2023. I think, as much as I hate saying it, I really think we are going to get the Prime remaster, not the trilogy. And I think that will be releasing sometime in September, so I agree with you on that one. Obviously, we're going to get our big Breath of the Wild 2 blowout. I think we're going to see a bunch of gameplay, whether it be in the trailers or at Treehouse if they do decide to have it again.
We'll have the
We're going to
name.
see it. Well, yes. We will finally have the name, and it'll have a November release date. The trailer is going to have a big emphasis on showing us that dungeons are back.
Okay.
Shrines may return, but I think it's going to be a very small amount of them, if at all. The dungeons are going to be like we expected in past games, so basically Skyward Sword going back. And the story is going to be an actual story rather than bits and pieces of cutscenes you have to mesh together yourself.
So how do
Everyone's gonna love it.
you think it's going to work? See, because the problem with Breath of the Wild is because it's open world, you can't really have a story. So
As much as I hate saying it like this, so Aonuma has said that the inspiration for Breath of the Wild 1 was Skyrim. He went forward to say back in E3 2019 that he was looking at Red Dead Redemption 2 as the inspiration for the sequel.
okay.
I think that it's going to be the same big open world. You can do whatever you want. I think the main story is going to be more linear.
Okay.
I think you'll have more say, and like you can go to any dungeon you want in any order, kind of like the Divine Beast. But I
So
think those story beats are going to be interconnected.
I say, you know what? You mind if I just talk for a little bit?
Please.
Let's say that we'll have like traditional Zelda fare where you have like 3 in the like the first half and 4 in the last half, you know, like Ocarina of Time. So let's just say there's going to be 8 major dungeons. Let's double it from 4 from Breath of the Wild. We'll have 4 in the overworld and 4 in the sky. Okay? And then you'll have just shrines littered throughout. Essentially just like the major tests of strength, because you don't want to go in there early game. It'll probably be that some of the shrines will take advantage of items that you get from the dungeon, just like traditional Zelda. So you might uncover this shrine, but you're like, maybe we'll come back later. But there is solutions to those dungeons without the items. You just sort of know that you have to get it. So I think the runes are back too. They'll have upgrades, like we've already seen, but we will have dungeon items as well,
Yes.
alongside that. And so my thing is that you can pick 4 of the dungeons in any order that you want, but not all 8. So
That makes sense.
you'll have like the first half of the game and then the second half of the game, just like previous Zeldas. And essentially, what will happen is that as you make progress in these dungeons, which again aren't affected by the dungeon items, they're only the dungeon items are only affected by the shrines, if that makes sense. Other than the sky dungeons, which may have a couple puzzles with the land items, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So that sort of progression. But you can pick any of the 4 dungeons that you want to tackle. They have the regular Great Plateau introduction bit where you get your runes, you get your arm, you get the nonsense story, and then it's like, okay, pick 4 dungeons you want to go to, maybe get some Korok seeds, some shrines in the middle there, and then as you take on each of the dungeons, you get more story bits, and it starts leading you on to start uncovering the mysteries of the sky, and then you get to the sky, and then the whole world's open up to you.
So to go off of that, I do think you were actually right on the money with that. I think the way the story is going to go is you and Zelda are going to split up at the beginning. You're going to get your stuff with Link, and the story is going to be very narrative heavy in the beginning, and then you can go to any of the first 4 that you want. There will be story-driven stuff there too, but it'll be present day. It won't matter which way you go. And then after those 4 are completed, then something that overlooms all of them happens, and then you move on to the second half of the story. So
Yeah.
I have to ask this because you always have to ask it. Will Zelda be playable in any form?
Yes. So what I'm thinking is that it's going to be sort of like, fuck, what was that game? I think it was Paper Mario, where you take
Where you get little Peach sections?
yeah. So
Yeah.
it'll like Peach, or I think Bowser was in there too. It'll be almost but it'll be more on a grander scale, almost like Luigi, like if you were to play Luigi's story in Thousand Year Door. So
Right. Okay.
so it'll be a little bit more. So what I'm thinking is that in between or after each dungeon, you'll take advantage of Zelda, or take advantage of Zelda. You'll take control of Zelda, and
Not that kind of game.
this will sort of unlock more of the mysteries of what the Sky World is, and you'll just have very small, maybe like a couple of puzzles and like a boss at the end of it. Sort of like I'm thinking more along the lines of 0.8 Birth by Sleep Kingdom Hearts game. The little tech demo with Aqua. It'll be more like that, where it's like a small little dungeon that you take with Zelda, uncovering the mysteries with what the Sky World is, and then at the end of the 4 dungeons, Zelda will get out, and you'll be able to swap between the two for the Sky portion.
Oh, so I don't think the sky portion and the ground portion are going to be one of the like 2 sections. I think you'll still have access to both throughout the entire game.
You'll have access to it, but there's only shrines up there. There's no dungeons available to you right now.
I don't know. I kind of think there's going to be something more up there, and maybe like you're one dungeon down here, then you have to go up there for something. I don't know, but I think it's going to be more like intertwined rather than. Well, half the game is on the ground, half is on.
The whole world will be available to you for sure, but the dungeons will be 4 on the ground, 4 on the sky, and you can only take on the latter 4 dungeons after you complete the first 4 dungeons. That's what
I'm saying is I don't think all 4 of the latter are going to be in the sky though.
You'll just be like one or like maybe like back and forth or something.
Let's say 4 are in each side, but I think maybe back and forth, or maybe like 2 on the ground, 1 in the sky, back on the or something like that. Okay. Whatever order they decide.
Okay.
Or whatever order you decide, because potentially it could be your order.
What do you think about that Zelda idea, where you have like a little mini thing after each dungeon, and then after the 4th dungeon, she just becomes regularly playable with her own abilities?
I like that idea better than what I was thinking, because I was thinking you would have little sections like trying to get out from like wherever she's trapped or whatever.
Yeah.
I really do hope they connect, and like either Zelda's with like you have like a companion that's hopefully not like Ashley from Res 4.
Or maybe it's more like Xenoblade, where she's like a party character.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I really hope that Zelda actually has a purpose in this game. I've been waiting on this for years. Spirit Tracks came close to that.
Yeah.
But
barring that she's not dead. If she's not
dead,
then she's definitely playable. For sure.
The more we talk about this, the more excited I'm getting for this game.
Yeah. But I'm thinking that those mini Zelda sections will be part of why the game is going to be more story oriented. I think we're going to have a lot more removing the control from Link, which I think will which is
But that an actual genuine story, kind of like Skyward Sword, hopefully, and the return of real dungeons. I think Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be that beautiful in between that new Zelda fans and old Zelda fans have kind of been asking for.
And this will, I don't know, hopefully don't fuck it up, but this will probably be the truly perfect Zelda game, because it's a mesh between both, and hopefully it removes the problems of the older games, which were 1, the durability, 2, the tests of strength, and 3, the lack of dungeons. So.
And the really cool thing is, if Wind Waker and Twilight Princess do come this year, people have been saying they're going to come at some point. I hope so. Every single mainline 3D Zelda game will be playable on Switch.
And not Mario.
What's a Galaxy 2?
What if instead of a DK game and a Mario Odyssey 2, they just remake Galaxy 2?
No.
That would be interesting.
That would be interesting. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, no, but I just want to play. I've been playing Galaxy again, and it made me realize how much I prefer 2, and I can't play my Wii anymore. Fair. So I'm like, it's because the sensor bar is broken, and unless I get a new sensor bar, I can't play Galaxy 2. So I'm like, ugh.
But I do think, to finish off the Zelda section, I do think that Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be the November title. I don't think it's going to get delayed. I really don't. I well, I don't want to make any bets on it because I know that could backfire really quickly, but
Yeah.
it's been 5.5 years. It's going to be roughly longer than the original Breath of the Wild, and this is an engine asset map reusing
Yeah.
sequel.
If yeah,
I'm amazed it's taken this long.
if it is releasing this year, we'll get a full reveal in E3. But if it's not, then well, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, right? You want information, so you're like, let's get it as early as possible. But if it is releasing this year, more than likely it'll have the spotlight at E3, and we'll have to miss out in February.
They said the same thing last year. I'm going to say it again. If in the small event that Breath of the Wild 2 gets delayed, I think it's going to be out spring 2023. But
Yeah.
I am willing to bet that it comes out this holiday.
And I think we'll probably just see the same schedule. Well, not the same. Well, we'll probably just see the schedule that we predicted last time with last year, where we'll have Wind Waker earlier in the year, and then Breath of the Wild at the end of the year. And it'll be perfect. It'll be perfect. They'll show it off.
Hope
Yeah.
so. That's why I think they're going to get Wind Waker and Twilight Princess if they're coming this year out before E3, just so they don't have 3 Zelda games hogging the spotlight.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I could easily see them having Wind Waker, Twilight Princess in their back pocket for next year if it comes out or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But moving forward from Zelda, finally, I think we're going to see a little bit of gameplay, not a ton, kind of like what we saw for Bayonetta 3 for Metroid Prime 4.
Yep.
They'll confirm a 2023 release.
Oh.
I'd bet holiday.
Do you think we're gonna see gameplay, or is it gonna be another tease, or maybe
A
like a
little bit of
CG?
cinematic.
Yeah, cinematic
A little
trailer.
bit of cinematic, a little bit of gameplay, probably like maybe 30 seconds max.
Okay.
I really think we're gonna get basically exactly like what we got with Bayonetta 3.
Okay.
Moving on from that, this is the one I'm not very confident in, but I think we could see it. I think we're gonna see a teaser trailer for the next 3D Mario. I don't know if it's gonna be Odyssey 2. I don't know if it's gonna be a new idea. That'll release in 2023. And that's my E3.
All right. That's fair.
All right.
July, yay.
July, I think we're going to see Splatoon 3, and if it's real, Detective Pikachu 2. Because I really do think this game could have gotten scrapped with the movie.
I'm gonna throw it in August because I have nothing releasing in August, so I'm gonna slot
Splatoon or Splatoon?
Detective Pikachu 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna slot that in August because I forgot about that.
Okay.
But for what else do you have? Is that it?
That's it. And I do think we'll get I think Splatoon 3 will come out like 3rd week of July, and I think we'll get like a Splatoon Direct 1st week of July.
Okay, so I'm thinking we'll get Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Splatoon 3, and Mario Kart 9. Again, sort of reliving 2017.
Wait, you think we get all 3 of those in 1 month?
Yeah.
My friend, you were insane.
Well, okay, let's just say summer. All 3 of those games will come out
My
eventually.
friend, you are absolutely insane.
That it's happening because Mario Kart 8 and Splatoon 2 came out the same month, didn't they?
No, Mario Kart 8 came out in April, Splatoon 2 in July.
Whatever. Let's just keep it.
Okay, go for it.
And then new Sega games. That's it. That's all I have.
Yes, okay. In August, I think we're gonna get that 2D Donkey Kong game. I think this is gonna be the start of the big end of year rush. This is the first of the huge games that we're gonna get for the latter half of the year.
Okay, let's put Mario Kart 9 in August then. And then we'll have
Okay.
Wind Waker and Splatoon 3. That's a little bit more reasonable because I have nothing in August. So
That's still Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Splatoon 3. That
Yeah.
seems still extreme,
well,
but you know
think
what?
about
I'll
it.
give a try for that one.
Splatoon 3 is its own thing, and
Yeah, I
Zelda is a remake. So
I agree. I think it could happen.
I have another indie world happening this month.
Oh yes, we forgot about those.
And this is where we'll finally see Silk Song releasing in 2023.
Really?
Yeah.
I should have talked about it earlier. I think it's going to be in the February or E3 directs. I think it's gonna come out towards the end of this year. I think that's gonna hurt if we have to wait 7 more months to see the game and it gets delayed till next year.
Yeah, I think that's a
Ouch.
little bit more reasonable. Or it could happen in a December one of the two. But
Okay.
it's definitely going to be in Indie World, and it's definitely going to have be released in 2023.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds good. Wow, that's gonna hurt a lot of people if that's true.
yeah,
All right, so September. I think we're gonna get that Metroid Prime remaster.
yep. That's where I put mine too.
All
Um,
right.
I also put this is where Mario is going to go. And we're also going to actually. I have Sega games in July and in September. I
That's
might just
possible.
I might just go with September just to be reasonable.
Mhm.
But sometime in the later half of the year we'll get more Sega games too.
Okay.
But yeah,
And
I have Mario and Metroid here.
that's gonna be an insane month if that's true.
Yeah.
I don't think it is, but you never know.
I still don't believe Mario's coming this year, but or
That's fair.
sorry, Donkey Kong, whatever.
We like your
I have
bold
Mario
choices.
slash Donkey Kong here, so
Okay, so one of the two.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if
Okay.
it's gonna be Odyssey 2, and I don't know if it's gonna be the Donkey Kong platformer. And the only reason I say platformer because I hope it's not 2D. I prefer it to be a 3D Donkey Kong because there's so much they can still do with that. So,
I agree. I just think based off those hirings that we saw a couple years ago, it's gonna be 2D.
and the other thing too is that why would they release it this year when Donkey Kong Land doesn't come out until 2 years from now? So,
That's what I wanted to release with Donkey Kong Land. They're gonna
yeah,
have that Seth Rogen movie launch alongside it.
yeah, that's true
That's
too.
been rumored,
Oh shit!
but we'll see.
Wait. Go back to
Oh,
February. I put the Mario trailer there too.
I don't think we're gonna see the Mario trailer until June or July for a teaser, and like September for the real trailer.
All right, sure. I have it
All
in
right.
February, but yeah.
Even though we just talked about the E3 Direct, we're already back at it again with the final Direct of the year. What do
Um,
you think we're gonna see?
so I have if Mario Kart 9 is releasing in 2022. I have it here. This will be just a teaser. It'll just be like broom broom 2023. But if it's not, and this is where we'll get the announcement of DLC for Mario Kart 9 releasing in 2023.
Okay.
Just it won't be like anything crazy. It might be just like a, hey, what's up? We're having more DLC in 2023. To see you then, that type of thing. Like
Okay.
nothing really shown there. This is we'll see more of Metroid and Donkey Kong before they release if they're not released. Otherwise, if they are released, just hey, it's out. Buy them. Um, this will be where we'll get the final look for Breath of the Wild 2 right before it releases. Not very much to share here. It may not even be
Yeah.
there. Um,
Right.
but it's still coming out in November. And this is where we'll also see Game Boy and Game Boy Color online, both releasing on with in the expansion pack,
Okay.
um, not on the base pack. Well, it's either both are in the expansion pack or Game Boy Color is on the base pack and Advance is on the expansion.
I could see that. I think that makes sense. Is that everything?
Yeah, that's all the major things. Yeah.
Okay, so obviously the fall direct is more subdued than the other two directs. So I think the focus is going to be on Bayonetta 3 and Xenoblade 3. I think
Yeah.
we'll see a little more Zelda, but I think Zelda could do their own thing. This will get announced at E3. I forgot to mention it, but Bayonetta 3 is going to have an October release date,
Oh yeah. Did I mention that?
and
Yeah, I did.
Xenoblade 3 will have a December release date.
Yeah, I will agree with you there. I just don't have it on here at all. I think that might be teased for 2023 in the
That's fair.
September direct, but if not, that makes sense for it to be released in December.
Well, according to those rumors, it could have been released in 2021, so I think delaying it a year makes sense. And
Hmm.
we've seen the two that it can do well in December.
So
Give it like a
do you think
go
Mario
ahead.
Kart 9 is not happening at all?
Wait for it. So like I said, I wrote these before those rumors came out.
Okay.
I think this direct is gonna have well now three reveals. I think we're gonna get finally see Pikmin 4,
Ooh, I didn't
but
have that at all.
I'm gonna go. There's been rumblings lately that it's not Miyamoto developing it anymore, or his team. There has been rumblings from for a while that it was scrapped and restarted in 2019 or 2018, somewhere around there.
Okay.
And there's rumors saying it was given to Next Level Games, the Luigi's
Hmm.
Mansion devs.
Oof.
I
I don't know.
don't know how I don't know how I feel about it. I would really much rather a Miyamoto made Pikmin game, but I either way,
Oof. I don't know.
whether it is Next Level Games or a Miyamoto developed game or supervised, I think Pikmin 4 is going to get revealed. It's going to have a summer 2023 launch date.
Okay.
I also think we're going to see Star Fox. I
Ooh.
think a new Star Fox I think a new Star Fox game is going to be announced. It's going to look just like 64 again, hopefully with a couple new wacky
Huh.
differences. And it'll be a spring 2023 launch. And the direct Mario Kart 9.
There's too many
You'll see.
new reveals.
Hey, if anything, cut Star Fox. I am
Yeah.
totally cool with cutting Star Fox.
I'd put Star
But
Fox in like next generation.
I don't think so. Here's my reasoning with this. September directs are always smaller. We're getting to the point where we really only have like smaller IPs that haven't really been represented on Switch. Pikmin Force, it from what I've been hearing lately, it sounds like it's about time for it to get announced. Star Fox is a smaller IP that I could see them giving another chance to, even if it's
Hmm.
another platinum made game. But if I had to get rid of one or the other, I think Star Fox is going to get the boot in regards of Mario Kart 9. We'll see a little bit of gameplay. It'll be like a 30 to 45 second teaser. Nothing crazy. I don't think we're going to see the new gimmick yet. And it'll just have a 2023 reveal, and we'll get the big reveal of it in the February direct in 2023.
Yeah, I'm just like otherwise. If there isn't Mario Kart 9, that means the only big reveals we'll have or big things we'll have is Breath of the Wild 2 and Splatoon 3. Kirby is not really there yet on terms of like it's almost on Metroid level, which means we're
I
I
know it does much better than Metroid, but I see what you
well,
mean.
it's a little bit less than these two, which is why I'm putting Mario Kart this year. It's probably not a good release time, but at the same time, we're also getting two Zelda games this year, and we're also
Potentially.
probably getting two Pokemon games this year, which might be a lot
See,
if we're
that's
slotting in Mario Kart 9, but also at the same time, we're also have to think about the DK thing, and I don't really know about that. I'm unsure
that's the
about
thing.
that.
That's where you and I differ so much. I really don't think 3D Mario Kart, a new Pokemon game, are going to release this year. I think it'll be the Legends Arceus DLC, and then basically everything else we know about, whether it be rumored like Xenoblade and DK or confirmed like Bayonetta 3 and Breath of the Wild 2.
So on the ones that are confirmed, they're definitely happening this year. That's no brainer.
Right.
Everything we know about except for Prime 4 will come out in 2022 or 2023. But everything else, I'm just like, I don't know. Like Mario Kart 9, I'm saying that's more likely than the DK game, and the
I don't
DK
even
game,
the
I'm like, I'm
even
not even sure if that's real.
the thing is, even the rumors are saying from the people that have said Mario Kart's coming, it's that it's being revealed. It could be revealed this year.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't. I
also true.
really don't think it's coming out this year. I think it could be shown towards the end of the year. I think it's more likely than not if it's in active development and if it's meant for the Switch.
I just don't even know if my real question is just like I don't know if that DK rumor is real. I don't really believe it that much because it
I
doesn't it
believe
does
it purely because it's been 2 years since that job posting was posted.
it's
We
not even
know they are working on a 2D title.
it's not even that. It's just like I don't know if it's a good idea for them to do that.
It doesn't matter. It's going to make money, and it's a 2D Donkey Kong game. And especially after they saw how well Tropical Freeze is sold on Switch, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think now that Retro is back with Metroid, they kind of want to rein in DK as their own IP.
And I'm thinking also that that's why I'm saying that maybe DK might come out next year is because I think they want to bring DK back into the spotlight. And I think this new 2D Donkey Kong platformer might be, or 3D might be the one that opens up this new door for Donkey Kong, maybe even having a yearly release schedule.
I don't.
But that's why I don't think. And again, if we're hoping that it's 2017 too, if it is, then Nintendo actually might want to have Xenoblade, Zelda, Mario Kart, and Splatoon. So I don't know. And then again, Kirby throws another problem into the ring, because now we'll have now we have too many platformers. If we have Donkey Kong and
that is 2 platformers in 1 year, Kirby and DK. That is 2 platformers.
That's too many.
Oh my gosh.
And then also thinking about if there's a Mario spin-off too. Because more than likely there probably is, because otherwise that means there's no Mario releases this year.
That's my thing.
Sparks of Hope, but that doesn't count.
DK, Sparks of Hope, I think those could be under the Mario umbrella. But my thing is, if Next Level is not working on Pikmin 4, which is a very big possibility, they should have something coming up, whether it be this year or early next year, and I think it could be Mario Strikers.
Okay.
But right now, just for the sake of kind of going against the grain, like going against the rails here, I'm going to say Next Level is working on Pikmin, but if they're not working on Pikmin, they're working on Strikers.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm lost now. I
feel
like I think I'm maybe a little bit too optimistic. I even gave myself some options, but
I think especially when it comes to Mario Kart being announced next month, potentially coming out this year, alongside potentially another Mario game, a bunch of other stuff. I think maybe lower your expectations a bit.
But they did it already. That's the thing. They also did it already.
But that was throughout an entire year, and there was a lot of supplemental titles. This is big game after big game after big game in like 4 months.
That still could happen.
It's very possible, but I'm looking at my predictions right now, and as grounded as I think they are, I still look at this year and I'm like, holy shit, how is all this coming out in 1 year?
Yeah.
But that's the fun of this.
I don't think you even had anything new other than Xenoblade 3 come out this year. Revealed and announced.
DK, Xenoblade, Metroid Prime Remaster. Yeah, and Wind Waker Twilight Princess. That's about it.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, that's the thing. We're going into this year knowing more about it than I think we have in any year.
I thought I was grounded, but I guess not. And again, I even gave myself options. I'm like, okay, so we're either gonna get Legends DLC throughout the year, or we're gonna get Let's Go in November. And
I think what we should do is we should like post both of our predictions.
I need to fix mine. That's the thing. I need to fix mine. I didn't think about Xenoblade.
When this episode releases, I think we should have like put both of them down and like have a poll and see whose is more grounded.
They're probably gonna say yours, but
and I agree. But I do want to see what our audience thinks on this, because we don't really get much interaction with these. all 10 of them.
Anyway, October. What do we have in October?
October is going to be Bayonetta 3 and only Bayonetta 3.
I have Bayonetta 3 and Game Boy Online.
Okay. Game Boy, I think that could happen too.
November.
Breath of the Wild 2.
Breath of the Wild 2. Breath of the Wild 2. New Super Nintendo games. Again, either Legends DLC or Let's Go.
I think Breath of the Wild 2 is going to blow people away again, just like the first one did. Whatever Pokemon releases will be exciting. And yeah, that'll be probably the strongest November we've ever had. And last but not least, December.
Yep.
What do you think?
I have an Indie World. New Game Boy games. Breath of the Wild DLC announcement.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I think that could be at the Game Awards.
Yeah, Game Awards. And Xenoblade.
You're getting on me with Xenoblade?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you there.
Okay. I do think Xenoblade 3 will come out like 3 or 4 weeks after Breath of the Wild.
Let's say it's either, we'll compete there, and we'll say it's either Mario Kart 9 or Xenoblade. One of the two will release instead.
Okay. I'm obviously on Team Xenoblade.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying it could be one or the other, and I'm agreeing with you in that sense.
I am strong. Like, I don't think we see Mario Kart until like next May releasing, next May at the earliest.
Okay.
But we shall see. As for the indie world, yeah, it'll happen. I think it'll be one of the smaller ones, unless Silksong does show up and breaks the hearts of many.
Yeah.
And after last year's Game Awards disaster, I'm not going to get my hopes up for a reveal. Maybe Zelda DLC, maybe something small for early 2023. I'm not getting my hopes up.
Yeah. Now I'm
And
sad.
before we before we end off and like reflect on this a little bit, I do think that Fire Emblem is a wild card. Like we have been hearing about a remaster for so long. The
Hmm.
reason I did not include it is because we have Advance Wars coming out and Triangle Strategy. I think that's a little bit of too much strategic RPG.
But again, Triangle doesn't count for
I know,
Nintendo.
and neither does Advance Wars. To be fair,
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe,
that's
but again, both of them are remakes, so
yeah, but still, that would be in 1 year, three, four if you consider the Advance Wars games two separate games. Strategy RPGs in the same potentially
yeah.
6 months.
Um, yeah, I didn't have a release date on that. I'd say it will probably be announced this year. I just don't know
Okay.
when it will be released. Probably in the February direct.
I
Um,
really do think I could be wrong on this. I'm gonna lean towards the side of it'll just be a brand new Fire Emblem game and it'll come out
yeah.
2023.
All right. So for my recap, we're gonna see a Pokemon Direct this month, uh, with Mystery Dungeon, and I'm gonna side with Legends DLC throughout the year,
Okay.
and Pokemon Sleep. Um, then we'll have a Nintendo Direct in February, Mario Superstars, Twilight Princess, um, Xenoblade 3, some kind of Mario spin-off, hoping for Mario and Luigi, Breath of the Wild New Look, Kirby release date, and Breath of the Wild or Fire Emblem. I'm sorry, no, start over.
You're good.
Mario Party DLC, Wind Waker Twilight Princess, Mario spin-off, Xenoblade 3, Kirby release date, Fire Emblem Remake, 2023 release date. Um, Kirby in March, Mystery Dungeon in March, Triangle Strategy, Advance Wars in April, Legends DLC in April, the Mario spin-off in May with another Pokemon Direct with more Pokemon Sleep and a random mobile game and more information on Legends DLC. E3 Direct, new Mario platformer or new DK platformer, Metroid Prime trilogy, Breath of the Wild 2 full gameplay and release date of November. A new quick look at Wind Waker, Bayonetta 3 with the release of October, Metroid Prime 4 in 2023, and the first wave of Mario Party DLC. Pokemon Sleep and Fall Guys is back. Wind Waker Twilight Princess in July with Splatoon 3, and maybe Mario Kart 9. Or sorry, Mario Kart 9 in August, maybe. Silk Song, first look or relook and release in 2023. Nintendo Direct, Mario Kart 9 DLC or tease for 2023. Another look at Metroid and Donkey Kong. Breath of the Wild final look, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Metroid Trilogy releasing, DK Platformer releasing, October Bayonetta 3 and Game Boy Online releasing, November Legends DLC releasing, Breath of the Wild 2 releasing, December Breath of the Wild 2 announcement, and Xenoblade 3.
All right. And for my recap, I think we're gonna get a Pokemon Direct this month. It will reveal Pokemon Legends DLC and Pokemon Sleep and Detective Pikachu 2 if it's real. I think it could have been, well, it is real at one point, but I think it could have been canned. We'll have nothing released in February besides the NSO game. I think the Direct will have an announcement of uh, Mario Party DLC for the rest of the year, paid boards, minigames, free characters. I think if Nintendo was confident Breath of the Wild 2 at that point is releasing in 2022, they will announce Wind Waker Twilight Princess HD for April.
Mm-hmm.
And then Just they'll show off Xenoblade 3 for the holiday, the 2D Donkey Kong game for August. Move on to March, we'll see Triangle Strategy come out to pretty good fanfare, nothing exciting. April will have Advance Wars, and if it is real, my wild card is Wind Waker Twilight Princess HD. I'm hoping for it, I always do. May will have Kirby. June will have Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope released from Ubisoft, and E3 will show off the next 3D Mario, a big Zelda blowout, our first look at Metroid Prime 4, plus a Metroid Prime 1 remaster that will come out in September. We'll see the next Fire Emblem game, and we'll get the release dates for Bayonetta 3 and Xenoblade 3. July will have a Splatoon Direct with the release of Splatoon 3 a few weeks later, and Detective Pikachu 2, Should It Be Real. August will give us 2D Donkey Kong, and it will hopefully be the quality that we expect from the Mario team. September will give us the Metroid Prime remaster and the final Nintendo Direct that will give us the one last look at Breath of the Wild 2, Bayonetta 3, Xenoblade 3. We'll get reveals for Pikmin 4, and either Star Fox or Mario Kart 9. As of right now, I'm leaning towards Mario Kart for 2023. October, we'll see the release of Bayonetta 3. It will be very good for people who are excited for it, and I hope I will pick it up and fall in love with it too. November, we'll see the release of Breath of the Wild 2. It will blow everybody away, and then we will begin the long 6-year wait until the next one. And finally, December, we'll have Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and that's about it, besides just the Pokemon Legends DLC coming out throughout the year and whatever else they want to do with Mario Party.
Yep.
Overall, this could absolutely top 2017 if even just my list comes true.
Here's my thing. I'm still unsure about... I think what's really going to do it, because I'm only a Zelda, Mario, and Pokemon guy, so I think it's going to be a great year, but it may not be my year.
That's fair.
And I really hope it is, because I want it to be. I want it to top 2017, and I think the only way they can do that if the Mario spinoff is Mario and Luigi, and if the new DK platformer is good, or if it's a Mario platformer. So if it's a bad DK game, then ooh.
Just looking at this, like, I am lucky to be a fan of most Nintendo IP, but if I get 2 of the remastered Zelda games I have been begging for years...
I think Zelda will be fine. As a Zelda fan, we'll be eating good.
My thing is, I am 50-50 on whether or not they will just push Wind Waker Twilight Princess to 2023. I think these games come no matter what at some point, but I could very easily see them being like, okay, we have these in our back pocket. We know Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out this year. Save those for next year.
Okay.
But if they do come out alongside Breath of the Wild 7 or 8 months later, I'm going to be in 7th heaven. Having Splatoon 3, Rabbids, Kirby, Xenoblade, just, it's so much goodness. And if Pikmin 4 finally gets revealed this year, you will see me on this podcast in tears talking about it for at least 20 minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't think I have ever been so excited for a year, because even with 2017, it had its faults. I wasn't a Xenoblade fan back then. I wasn't into ARMS. Mario Kart was a port.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, all those little things kind of added up.
I think 2018 is probably my favorite year because Smash Ultimate came out, but I think that it will probably... I think we're already set to have on par year with 2017, just in terms of releases. Not in terms of, like, your favorite year, but in terms of releases, we'll definitely be on par with 2017.
2017 had a very strong mix of big titles, but it also had a lot of smaller stuff. It had remasters. I mean, do we need to talk about Fire Emblem Warriors? With this
Wait, that came out? I totally forgot about that. And wait, FE Sharp came out in 2019, right?
That was that came out in 2020.
Oh,
that
really?
was the remaster of the Wii U one, yeah.
Oh, dang.
But yeah, 2017 was strong. It had huge games. I think 2019 was my favorite year. Like, there wasn't anything huge, but Mansion 3, Link's Awakening, Fire Emblem. It was strong.
See, so I say that 2017 was the strongest.
I agree.
2018 is my favorite. 2019 was starting to decline. It was an okay year. It was like starting to become like the normal year. 2020 was garbage. It had some good releases, but it was
It
garbage. But
had
we all know
Pikmin
why.
3 and Hyrule Warriors. I'm happy.
And then 2021 was again another. It was pretty much on par with 2019. Pretty casual year. This year should be the good year to compete with 2017, and I think we're done. I think 2023 will probably be the last year of the Switch. Will probably be
No,
a nice casual year, and 2024 we'll see the release of a new console.
I don't think so. If my calendar is correct, 2023 would give us Pokemon Gen 9, Mario Kart 9, a new 3D Mario, Prime 4. Just if that was everything, that's still a very strong year.
I mean, my point is it'll be more like 2018.
That's fair.
Pretty good,
2018
but
was
not as bad as
though.
2019.
Right. I think 2018 was much worse than any other year, but that's
Really,
my
that's
opinion.
my favorite
I don't-
year. I don't know. That was pretty. I think it was like
Besides-
a steady decline. It was like
Besides
2017,
Smash,
18, 19, 20 is like the
No.
fucking bottom.
Besides Smash, there was nothing for me in 2018.
What else came out in 2018?
Let's Go.
Let's Go. That was a great
Super
game.
Mario Party, Kirby Star Allies.
Kirby was fun.
Eh, I didn't like it, but I think the Switch successor is going to come out either spring 2024 or holiday 2024. I think they're going to lean more towards holiday. That's what it sounds like rumblings are saying right now, but I think 2022 and 2023 are going to be our golden years that are going to be close to 2017, if not one of them topping it. And then I think 2024 is going to be that sharp, ooh, this isn't that good. Let's
Like 3DS 2019 year.
basically like we may have like two or three small things, but
Everything will be
last
released on both consoles.
not everything. It depends on when of the year it comes out.
Or
But yeah.
I'm still hoping it's called the Switch. It's just going to be called the next generation of Switch, whatever they call it. But I'm
see,
still hoping that they don't have to like print new discs or new cartridge sizes and not.
Right.
Apparently, some rumors are saying it's not going to have backwards. That's going to be it's bullshit. Please don't do that.
It's
That's
gonna
going to
have
be
backward-
that's
maybe
not going to be
stupid
good for
ones,
it. Yeah, I don't think they should just call it backwards compatibility. They should just same cartridges, continue it into the next generation. Or maybe like the maybe like the 3DS where it's slightly larger, but just continue that.
yeah.
You have to continue that Switch train going because otherwise, the next console is gonna be like the Wii U.
I really do think they could play it safe and call it either the Super Switch or the Nintendo Switch 2.0 or something like
Yeah, but just call it next generation. But we all know it's just an upgrade to the Switch.
that. With this year being so strong, next year could have Pikmin 4, all the other games I mentioned. I think 2024 is really going to fall off the deep end. It's going to be probably the worst year we've had since the Wii U days. But that's gonna be not as
2022.
2024.
You said 2022.
Oh my gosh, no, 2024. Yeah, 2022 is gonna be garbage. Everything I just said is gonna be delayed.
I have a couple questions for you. Do you see like a Switch Lite hardware revision
Switch Lite.
this year?
I could see them doing a Switch Lite OLED. I don't think they're going to.
Okay. New colors, Joy-Con switches.
Probably. I really think they're going to do one for Breath of the Wild 2, maybe Splatoon 3.
Are they
do
going
think
to
we're gonna get-
Are they going to be cutting out this original Switch model this year?
Next year.
Next year. Okay.
And I do want to mention, I don't know if that's one of your questions, I do think this is the year they announced Nintendo Selects for the Switch.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I think we're
Please.
going to see Odyssey 1, Breath of the Wild, Splatoon 2, and a few others go down to $20. No, actually, I think they're going to raise the price to 30.
Do you?
I think
Oh,
that's
30?
my prediction.
Okay.
I think they're going to bring up Nintendo Selects prices from $20 to $30.
It was
It's still
random.
half off.
It was quite random. It really depended on what the game was because sometimes it was like $10.
Yeah.
So-
So I do think Nintendo Selects towards the back half of the year is going to finally show up after all this time.
And we
Alright,
also
any other
only
questions?
talked about new games this year. We didn't really talk about ports other than Wind Waker Twilight Princess. Do you think we might see some smaller Wii U 3DS ports? because we got
I
Miitopia, so
I personally don't think so. The only one I could see happening is Xenoblade X, but if 3 is going to come out this year,
I think
it's not
X
the
is
same as
next year.
Zelda.
I think it's gonna be either X or 3 this year, and
It's going
then
to be next year.
next year, X next year, yeah,
Next year.
next year. I mean, we could see Tamagotchi Life. I'm probably not. Maybe next year. But I'm just
I
maybe some smaller like indie 3DS releases because
yeah,
what sucks is that going into the future, the 3DS and the DS, because we're pretty much not going to have another dedicated portable console anymore. It's going to be hard to port those games over to a new system. So we
right.
probably going to need to start porting them like they have been with Wii U games pretty soon here.
Yeah.
So
It could happen. I personally don't think it's going to be this year. It might be next year, 2024, to pad out the year because those years will be lighter than 2022 and everything
mhm.
has been, but
It's just
I guess we'll see.
I think the Wii U was probably the only good console for DS like virtual console. So I don't know
The Wii U really
if they
was the
have like
best for virtual console.
if they have 3DS online. It's gonna be weird on the Switch. So
Not going to happen.
I think that they well not on the Switch. I mean on the successor. So
Right, okay, fair.
assuming they continue just keeping the NES and NSO onto the next console, but
Okay, that's fair.
it's still gonna be weird. I don't think that they should.
Right. But yeah, I am very excited for 2022. Like,
Yeah,
even if just some of the stuff that we predicted comes true, we are in for a great year.
yeah, for sure.
Even with the loss of Smash Bros, because this really is the first year since 2017 where we have not had to deal with anything Smash Bros related.
Yeah, and it's also the first year where we actually know what we're. It's been a well. What did we know? We knew about a fair bit in 2019 coming into or in
Fire,
2018 going into 2020.
I think we knew about Fire Emblem. We knew about Mansion and Animal Crossing. We knew a good bit going into
Yeah.
2019.
So
This is
this is probably we're probably like where we were at going into
I
2019.
I think we know about like 65 to 70% of the launch line, like the lineup for the year.
Yeah. So I think yeah, this is gonna be a great year. I can't understate that. Like this will be a good year for our channel. Hopefully we just blow up randomly halfway throughout the
Right?
year. Just insane Breath of the Wild 2 reaction.
But
Number one on trending.
I think this is a good place to wrap it up, though. I think we've pretty much exhausted all the topics.
Yeah,
Is there anything
I'm
else
gonna
you want to
fix
mention
this.
before we head out?
Uh, I'm gonna fix this. But other than that, no, I'm good. I'm ready to
All
go.
right.
I'm ready
All right.
to go into this year. I just wanted to wake up tomorrow and it'd be February. So
A few more weeks. We're almost there. All right. Well, I hope whoever, if anyone, listened to the end of this, I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. Let us know in the comments what you guys predict is going to come out in 2022, and we will see you next month for our recap of January. All
yep.
right. See you guys later.
Bye.